What is up, everyone? Godzilla 851 with the Godzilla vs. Kong review. This is going to be the non-spoiler section. I'll let you good know when it's spoiler time. So, in short, what I think about the film. I loved it. Absolutely awesome. Okay, Godzilla and Kong have plenty of time to shine and look amazing. I love all the human characters in this. The bad guys, the bad girls, the good guys, the good girls, everyone involved in the film. Bravo. I loved it. Some interesting new characters were introduced into this. And even though their dialogue can be a little cringy at sometimes, still, they're fun characters to have along for the ride as well. As far as Godzilla and Kong are concerned, do they have enough time to fight? Yes. Is there a lot of interruptions in their fights? No. When these two actually finally fight each other, they're actually given a lot of time to actually, go one-on-one. There is a little bit of interference from other things, come here and there, but these two have a lot of time to shine and show off what they can do and how badass they can be. The music is excellent. I love the music to this film. While watching this film, I actually had a couple of Man of Steel and BDS flashbacks, different music cues. I'm like, wow, that sounds awesome. It sounds just like it. Junkie XL did the music for this movie. And he did the music for those other films as well. So, yes, loved it. If you love that sound, the war drums and, just the loud percussions, you're going to love the music to this as well, like I did. Awesome music. Okay? The length of the film, I feel, was perfect. It didn't overstay its welcome. Everything fit. There were a couple of scenes I wish were a part of this. I'm not saying that these were cut or anything. I'm just saying a couple of scenes I would have had added to this, but we'll get into that with the spoiler section. So, anything else I'm going to talk about is going to be considered spoiler. And the movie did just drop today, and a lot of people have not had a chance to watch it. They just want to know about, whether it's good or not. I love it. Excellent film. I give it 10 out of 10, S+. Excellent film. Now, it is time for the spoilers. This is your spoiler warning. I give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Alright, so the film begins showing off Kong. And Kong is on Skull Island, and he then takes a tree and then throws it through the sky and actually shatters part of the dome that they have Kong in. Kong is on Skull Island, however, the storm that surrounds Skull Island, that huge storm, so has actually enveloped the island now. So, and has wiped out all the native people there except for a little girl. Monarch has moved in and they built this dome for Kong. And apparently it's been about 10 years since this has happened. Actually, no. Been only a few years, but the main one of the main characters to this film, she had been studying Kong for 10 years and actually trying to teach him sign language along with the little girl that survived. Kong kind of treating her as like a surrogate child. Cut to Pensacola, Florida, and we have one of our main characters for the film is a conspiracy theorist, and he wants to get to the bottom of Apex. What's it called? Apex Industries, or robotics and stuff like that. So if you've seen the trailers to this film, then you know where that's leading. He goes in and he starts stealing some information, to, uncover, the truth, as he says. When all of a sudden he starts going through the computer, they get a Titan warning. Godzilla is coming. Godzilla arrives in Pensacola, Florida, and it is awesome. Okay, he looks amazing. I love the shots that they have of Godzilla, coming out of the ocean, coming towards the Apex, facility. And we get to meet the bad guys of the film. Or are they really bad guys? Yeah, they're bad guys. Anyway. And, they're trying to be all, benevolent, oh, we're we're doing this all for good of mankind and stuff like that. Well, this main character, goes to a sub-level of this facility, and he finds this humming sphere. It's glowing and it's humming. And every time it starts to hum louder and louder, Godzilla seems to be getting angrier and angrier, showing that he's being led into being angry, and he's not really the bad guy. He's actually being coerced into doing bad things. I said that a couple of months ago, he's not the bad guy, okay? They found a way to, mess with him, and it's driving him insane, and it's making him attack and destroy things. That's what's going on in the film. At least that's the way how I saw it, and then we're going to move on from there. So, Godzilla is destroying things. Eventually, he stops, gets CNN reports saying, Godzilla's no longer our protector. We need to find a way how to defeat him. When the main bad guys, they go to see one of the other new characters. And he has the whole Hollow Earth idea. He wants to, go to Hollow Earth. The main bad guys, they're like, oh, there is a power there. We want to, take it and use it to, defeat Godzilla. And he's like, okay, I'll help you guys out. And pretty much humans can't go there yet because they don't know where it is, and there was an accident last time. So they decide to get Kong to show the way because, with natural instincts of wanting to return to your birthplace, all Titans are from this place, it's what the theory is, so yeah. Moving on, as a returning Madison from Godzilla King of the Monsters, is listening to the conspiracy guy and wants to prove Godzilla's innocence. Meanwhile, they're moving Kong to Antarctica to, find this new area when Godzilla picks up on Kong's scent, and the two have their first battle. It is awesome. Okay, these two, they throw down. Kong almost drowns a few times, which, adds some stakes to it, but also he knows how to fight very well. They fight underwater. They fight on the battleships. The military is trying to fight off Godzilla. They're just a nuisance. He's smacking him out of the air with his tail. Awesome stuff. And remember, this is the spoiler section. Godzilla almost went. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Spoiler. Godzilla almost kills Kong. He almost drowns Kong completely, but the military's able to get Godzilla off of him, and then they play dead. They turn off all their systems, and whatever remaining forces they have, they play dead. Kong is pretty much out of it. Godzilla is content with this, and he swims away. Okay? So they can't really move anymore, because the moment they start moving, the scientist in charge of Kong, she's like, well, the moment we start moving, Godzilla will come back, just finish him off. So the other scientist, Nathan, I believe his name is, says, how is he with flying? They fly Kong the rest of the way to Antarctica, while Madison and her little team go back to Pensacola, and they go into the Apex area that was destroyed, and they find a transport going to Hong Kong. Inside of this transport are skullcrawler eggs, and they get transported to Hong Kong. Meanwhile, Kong is being transported to Antarctica. He finds his way to the entrance. They kind of lie to him a little bit to get him to go inside. He goes inside, and he goes towards where the source is of the center of the Earth, the hollow core. And Apex, along with the scientists and the little girl, follow him through, and they go to the hollow Earth. It's almost like another dimension, almost like another world they go to. It's pretty much the center of the Earth, but not really the center of the Earth. They go there. Kong, he gets to stretch out. He gets to run around. He gets to, do his thing. And then he fights the two other new monsters of this film, the Warbats. Interesting monsters, but, they're jobbers. They're there to put Kong over and make him look powerful. He kills them quickly. With a little help from the humans, he does kill them quickly. And then he moves on to where the source is. Meanwhile, Madison and her team are now in Hong Kong. Spoiler warning. Remember, this is a spoiler warning. Madison and her team go into Hong Kong, and they go into this massive room. I'm talking massive, okay? This is like a Rancor pit area, on steroids. This place is huge. The floor opens up, spoilers, the floor opens up, and up comes this, pedestal. On the pedestal, there's this giant pile of metal with these red, spikes sticking out of it. Remember, spoiler. You're in the spoiler section, okay? You don't want to be spoiled. Go away. Okay? This thing starts to power on, and it gets to reconfigure. It's Mechagodzilla. They have Mechagodzilla, and they release a Skullcrawler into the area. It goes to kill Madison. However, the Skullcrawler is caught by Mechagodzilla, which is being piloted by one of the main bad guys of the film. And with Mechagodzilla, it burns this thing in half. Blood and gore everywhere. Green blood and gore, but blood and gore nonetheless. Power's off because, once again, it's a Mechagodzilla, and it just doesn't have the correct power source. Every Mechagodzilla I've seen in films, he's always had a problem with power. Whether it's the first one malfunctioning, or the second one being burnt out by beam battles with Godzilla, with Kiryu, being a hit once or twice, in certain areas, he completely gets drained of energy. So yeah, power sources are pretty much a problem for Mechagodzillas. So they want this source at the center of the Earth with where Kong is going. That's what the whole plan is on their end. And eventually they do get it. However, Kong gets something while he's down there. He gets his axe. The axe, which is imbued with radioactive power, the same power that powers Godzilla and will power this Mechagodzilla. How are they going to do that? Well, there's a lot of pseudoscience going on with this film. A lot of sci-fi science, where they can take a piece of a sample and they actually analyze it and then they reproduce it in the matter of minutes on the surface level. It's silly, it's goofy, whatever, it's awesome. Just moving along, okay? If they had to wait to bring the thing back to Earth, bring back up to the surface, and then reanalyze it, the movie would probably be like 6 hours. So, just go along with it. Okay, it's fun. All right, I had no problem with it. It was awesome. So Madison and her team are caught by the bad guys, and the team on the center of the Earth, the Hollow Earth, they're betrayed because not really betrayed, just intentions are a little more shown, a little more. Because the main bad guy, his daughter, is in charge of the, team going to the center of the Earth to collect the mineral that they need to, power up Mechagodzilla. That's what the whole end game is. Power up Mechagodzilla so that he can go and conquer and defeat other Titans. It's their own man-made Titan, pretty much. So they go to power on Mechagodzilla. And, Godzilla is, being attracted to, Hong Kong, where Mechagodzilla is. Pretty much after the Skullcrawler fight, some part of him was still on, and it attracts Godzilla. So Godzilla arrives. The power at the center of the Hollow Earth activates, triggering Godzilla, and he actually breathes fire straight into the ground, straight towards the center of the Hollow Earth. Essentially, they're trying to make it look like Godzilla breathes fire to the center of the Earth. Maybe I'm seeing that incorrectly, but, it shows how powerful his atomic breath is. As being as powerful as it is. Kong is there. He sees Godzilla on one end. Godzilla sees him on the other end. They roar at each other, and then Kong goes back to the surface level, and we have our climactic fight of the film in Hong Kong. It is glorious, the way how these two fight. The other films tried to make Godzilla and Kong and other Titans and Kaiju seem large. The way how they move, they're a lot slower. Because they're like, gravity? No, they do away with all that, okay? I saw a review, on Twitter, just a quick thing, that this is kind of like a Showa film. Yes, this film is like a Showa film. The way how these two move around and the way how these two, kick ass. And speaking of Showa films, Godzilla actually, gets the upper hand on Kong at one point, breathing fire and, hitting Kong in the back, which, again, spoilers. Godzilla smiles. Godzilla straight up smiles, which kind of reminds me of, in the 62 film when Godzilla, had Kong at his mercy. He was doing like the little clicking clap and, dancing around, acting like he was the winner. That's kind of like a little throwback the way how I saw it. Maybe others will see it, in a more cheeky way. I don't care. Awesome stuff. Keep moving on. Kong gets the upper hand back on Godzilla with the axe. It seems like he's winning, but then Godzilla gets back up. They continue their fight. Very, very small breaks in the fight as well. It's like when Kong hits Godzilla with the axe, well, round 2 goes to Kong. Well, it's only a few seconds, and then Godzilla's back up. They continue fighting, a lot of, jumping around, using the buildings and like parkour. Godzilla actually gets on all fours and actually starts crawling after Kong. This Kong is down, and the way how these two are fighting, it is so awesome. Just the way how this fight goes. Eventually, Godzilla gets the main upper hand and has Kong at his mercy. That's when you see the scene of the two, kings, roaring at each other. Godzilla then stomps on Kong's chest. Kong seemingly passes out. Godzilla is like, you know what, whatever. That sound is still driving me nuts. He starts walking off towards where Mechagodzilla is. Meanwhile, Mechagodzilla is being powered up with the secret mineral from the Hollow Earth. Come to find out that the second bad guy is named Serizawa. As in the son of Dr. Serizawa, the nephew. That is not really, explained. They just show him, they call him Serizawa. There's no real other explanation. He's just a Serizawa. He's a member of the family, I guess. Okay, that's the thing that I wanted them to add on. Just a little more explanation of who this character was. But anyway, the way how they control Mechagodzilla is with the skull of King Ghidorah. And inside the skull are like little bits of DNA that actually they interfaced with a computer and then interfaced it into a headset for Serizawa to wear and control. However, with this new power, it actually overloads the system, killing Serizawa and making Mechagodzilla run amok, killing the other main bad guy and then emerging from a mountain in Hong Kong, kind of like he did in the 74 film, and he begins to battle with Godzilla. And he kicks Godzilla's ass. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He kicks Godzilla's ass all over Hong Kong. It actually gets to a point where it's like the Simpsons meme, like, stop, he's already dead, thing. He's just kicking his ass. Because this Mechagodzilla doesn't move around like Godzilla. He moves around kind of like Monster X does, in Godzilla Final Wars. He's doing like, hand-to-hand combat. He's got ranged attacks as well. He actually, dances around Godzilla, grabs him by the tail, swings him around and throws him into another building. It's like, damn. They get into a beam battle, just like in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 93 or, the other Mechagodzilla films. And it's not even close. This Mechagodzilla is just way more powerful. And at this point, actually, Godzilla's really tired at this point, so I'm not really going to hold that against him too much. But anyway, overpowering him. Kong is dying. Like, legit dying. The little girl is able... She has a lot more sense... she's a lot more sensible because she can't hear. So she uses touch, and she, has a lot more feelings. She feels that Kong is dying. Well, there's no way to restart his heart because of the way that Godzilla stomped on his chest, except for the ship that they used to get from the center, the Hollow Earth, back to the surface. Apparently has enough power in it to power Las Vegas. So they detonate it over Kong's chest. It restarts his heart. Meanwhile, Mechagodzilla is about to kill Godzilla. Yes, he is about to kill Godzilla the same way he killed the Skullcrawler. And then Kong joins in, and Godzilla and Kong team up, Batman v Superman style, to fight off Doomsday, just like that. And I had no problem with it. I love that film. That film gets a lot of hate. I've seen other films where different characters that are fighting each other team up to fight another monster. It's not a new concept. It really isn't, okay? So when Godzilla and Kong team up to fight Mechagodzilla, it's awesome. Godzilla, however, is very injured from his fight with Mechagodzilla. So Kong, almost takes center stage fighting with, Mechagodzilla. Godzilla helping out when he can. However, he gets kind of swatted away really quickly by Mechagodzilla. Eventually to the point where Kong has his axe. It's not powered up anymore. And it looks like it's all over. Meanwhile, Madison and her team are trying to shut down Mechagodzilla on their end. They fail when one of the main characters, he has a flask of bourbon, or is it whiskey? He's got alcohol on him. Anyway, he goes to drink from it when the kid that's along with him actually takes it and pours it all over the control panel, shorting out Mechagodzilla's control panel, giving them a opportunity. Kong is hitting Mechagodzilla, however, it's not powered up, so Godzilla breathes fire at the axe, powers it up. Kong goes nuts, cuts up Mechagodzilla to pieces, and then rips his head off with the skeleton attached, and it's pretty much like right out of Mortal Kombat. Mechagodzilla's dead. Kong falls to the ground. It's over. Everything starts to wrap up. All of a sudden, Godzilla roars again. Kong stands up with his axe. It looks like they're about to fight each other. Kong just gives up. He's like, there's no point of fighting anymore. Okay, you're not the bad guy. It was just old beef from whatever. He throws his axe away. Godzilla recognizes this, turns, walks into the ocean, swims away. The last shot we have of the film is Kong back at the Hollow Earth with our heroes. And he roars loud while beating his chest, and then the credits roll. That is Godzilla vs. Kong. Excellent film. I love it. Is it my favorite in the MonsterVerse? No, it's not. Excellent film, but it's not. Godzilla King of the Monsters is still my favorite in the film. In the series. So, that's the film. It's on HBO Max right now, and it's in theaters, select theaters, mind you, but theaters nonetheless. I highly recommend you watch this film. It is awesome. I've watched it 3 times today. That might sound like overkill. Nope, I watched it as soon as I woke up at 9 in the morning, like I did with the Snyder Cut. I watched it later in the afternoon with my dad, and then my brother got home, and I watched it again with him, and I decided to record the review right now. So that is that. I highly recommend this film, and I absolutely loved it. And a lot of other people I've seen online loved it as well. There are a couple of small nitpicks with it. Mainly, I didn't bring this up. During the opening credits, they're showing, Godzilla and Kong's stats, with that awesome music. And they start showing the other Titans. And it says defeated over all their names, just leaving Godzilla and Kong. We don't get to see any of the other Titans. Now, the others I didn't really care for. Not going to lie. Behemoth, the Mountain, and Cilia, and the other Muto, I didn't care. Okay, I really cared about Rodan. I wanted to see Rodan one more time. Well, it said defeated over his name behind Godzilla, so did Godzilla get sick of him and then, kick his ass and kill him? That isn't really explained. Maybe in the prequel comics that are coming up soon, we get to see something about that, but I don't know. So there are a couple of rooms for improvement, but I loved it. I love this film, the way it is. And maybe there'll be some deleted scenes or some cut content on the Blu-ray release, which I better believe I'll be buying that first day it comes out. That is the show, and I hope you all enjoyed this review. I didn't try to talk too much about it. Remember, I gave you all spoiler warnings when I got into spoiler territory. So this is Godzilla851 saying goodnight. I have another video that's going to accompany this video, this review, of references that I noticed for myself in Godzilla vs. Kong, from different blockbuster films and different Godzilla films I've seen as well. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is Godzilla851 saying goodnight. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And Godzilla vs. Kong was awesome. Give it a watch.